Happy Saturday, everyone, and welcome to Fashion, Flair, and Lifestyle. And guess what? Today is Leap Day Saturday. And oh, am I so excited for the people who get to celebrate their birthday today that normally don't. So shout out to everyone's birthday that is February 29th. And today our show is sponsored by our show is sponsored by Pure Essence Resale Boutique and Beautiful Creations by Toy. And my website, pureessenceresale.com. Instagram, pure_essence_resale. Facebook, pure.essence.resale. And also on Twitter, pure_resale. And today we have a special co-host, and it is Latoya Saunders. How are you today, Latoya? Good afternoon. Yeah. Thank you. And like I said, Latoya is sponsoring our show today as well. So go ahead and shout out what your handles are, where they can find you.
You can find me at Beautiful Creations by Toy. I am on Facebook, Instagram, and I also have a website, beautifultoy.net.
All right. And we ready to rock and roll. So how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful and fabulous. How are you today, beautiful?
I'm good. I'm liking that lipstick today.
Thank you. I'll have to tell you where I got it from when we go off the air.
Right. We don't want to plug anything paying us, right?
Yes, exactly.
So we have two different shades of. I have a brighter red. You have more of a deep red.
Yes, I like the deep red. I'm usually a bright red lipstick. I love lipstick, so
really?
This is really the first time I've worn a darker color red. I like it.
Interesting. Well, good afternoon, Glenn. How are you today?
I'm all Cloroxed up.
You are And why would you say something like that?
Well, they say you got to wipe off everything now.
Well, at least we are in code. But we're not in violation. We are within code because we wiped everything down today.
Yes, we did.
She wipes everything down every day.
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Before there was a coronavirus.
Well, you can never be too safe, right?
Yeah,
you cannot. I bet one day, these wipes probably saved you a many days from touching something that somebody else had touched.
I ain't never seen nobody wipe off a toothpick.
Really? A toothpick?
Really?
Glenn,
oh my goodness.
Nobody thinking about you. Well, okay, so our topic today is the art of a sincere apology. So you can give us a call if you want to chime in, and that's 248-429-7224. And then before we get into the topic, we're just going to go over some trending, what I call OMG topics. Mm-hmm. And the reason I tried to, instead of just saying, trending topics or what's happening today, some of the topics I want to discuss is like, what? Like, oh my God, like really like that happened. Mm-hmm. So that's why I named it OMG topics. So hopefully I'll maybe get a voice to go with this OMG topics.
Okay.
You gonna change your voice?
Yeah, I'm gonna change my voice.
Oh. All right, Miss Radio.
But I just don't know what yet because I just came up with this topic. Topic.
Are you gonna change it today?
Let me see. I don't know. You're gonna have to hook me up in the studio and do a voiceover.
Yes.
How would I say it?
Just what characters do you like?
I don't know.
Just do it yourself.
Let's see. Yeah, I can't think of nothing.
See?
But I just love OMG, like OMG topics. That's too much. That sounds like Oscar the Grouch almost.
Do what feels good.
Yeah.
Be careful.
What feels natural.
OMG topics.
There you go.
That sounds like late night TV. Okay, so just to go a recap from last week, I talked about what did I talk about last week? I remember, but I gotta look it up again. I talked about the fashion school that put the model on the runway with the plastic big lips the eyebrows and the plastic big ears. And the two not executives, but the teacher and at the fashion school, they were suspended for doing that and not putting too much thought into making the girl with the model was Asian.
Okay.
And she went on the runway, as we do for New York Fashion Week, and they displayed her face with these big plastic lips. So it's kind of like a cleaner version of a blackface if you wasn't really paying attention to it.
Right.
And the ears were huge, like monkey ears, and then they took and put like dark eyebrows across the top, and then she had the big plastic lips on there. So one of the black models, she would not do it, and they told her that it's okay to be uncomfortable for 45 seconds.
Oh, that's awful.
So the two not executives, but coordinators or whoever at the fashion school they are on suspension for that.
Okay,
being
good.
insensitive. So I thought that was just like really, really rude. And then the other OMG topic that just cracked me up, former Vice President Joe Biden. Okay, so let me read on this. So I don't really follow a lot of the political candidate news all the time.
Yeah, I don't either.
Right. So somewhere along the way in his talk, he states that he was arrested in South Africa. Okay, so then now he is backpedaling. It says Biden acknowledges he wasn't arrested in South Africa despite earlier claims. So let me read what he said, because I could not believe this. Okay, so it reads, former Vice President Joe Biden on Friday acknowledged that he wasn't arrested in South Africa during a visit to the country in the 1970s, despite recently claiming that he had been. So this is what he said. Y'all ready? Now this is really OMG. When I said arrested, I meant I was not able to move. I wasn't arrested. I was stopped. I was not able to move where I wanted to go.
No, I'm sorry. There's a big difference there. No.
That depends on how you look at it. Police stop people all the time.
So does that, okay.
But being stopped and being arrested are two different things.
I get what you're saying, but you all probably have not encountered the police in a way that a lot of men do. And if a police officer stops you on the street and he is questioning you, he's violating your rights. So if you say, am I free to go? And he says no, then he has arrested you.
Really?
He's detaining you. I get it.
Absolutely.
I get
That's
that.
a word that they use in procedure, detain.
I got it.
But there's no such thing as detained.
Yeah.
If I'm not free to go about my way, then you are impeding me from doing what I should be able to do as a citizen.
Sure.
So you said
I'm saying that Joe Biden is a liar, but his staff researched it and came up with this great lie for him.
When I read this, I could not stop laughing. I'm sitting here like I said, to me, arrested mean you arrested.
Yeah, that you've been handcuffed, you've been taken to a facility, you've been locked up, you can't move. That's what I was thinking.
No, that's locked up.
But then when Glenn said it his way, okay. But just to be like, I was arrested, throwing the word out there, you could say I was held or I felt like I couldn't, they didn't put handcuffs. He could have, he didn't have to make it seem like he got played in South Africa.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's if you're assuming that politicians tell the truth. They all are liars.
Oh, they do.
Oh,
they lie.
Yeah. That could be like a whole topic. I don't think they all tell the truth. It works for the moment. It's in the heat of the moment. They talk and figure out what they're gonna tell people to make it sound good. Look at Bloomberg's campaign is that he want to make it socially economic for blacks to be, what is it? for us to like not gain power, but have more choices in the economy, far as
being able to buy homes.
Yeah.
And he said he has a 10-year plan to level the playing field for blacks in America with the financial divide. He's going to bridge the financial divide, which is a damn lie.
Exactly.
That's like saying white folks finna give black folks the country.
Right.
That ain't happening. So yeah, I just thought that was just it was just interesting to me. I don't know why. I just can't believe that he would just make it seem like they did something to him. I thought that was kind of foul.
Yeah, that was.
But yeah, so and then in like kind of not so great news, B. Smith. You know who B. Smith is?
No.
You never heard of her? She was like a lifestyle. They call her a lifestyle guru. She died at age 70 because she had an onset of Alzheimer's.
Oh no.
Yes, she died of Alzheimer's.
Do you
passed
have her
away
picture over there?
Oh yeah, I sure do.
Wow.
But she also.
Goodness.
When they say lifestyle, she used to have like a line of bathroom accessories and products and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I've purchased a few, like her shower curtains, and you know how you go in Bed Bath & Beyond, they have sections. She was B. Smith, and that was like back in like the mid 2000s that she was really popular. But the something that stands out about her is that she was one of the first African American women to grace the cover of Mademoiselle magazine.
Okay.
In 1976. She also hosted a popular syndicated talk show. She ran 3 high-profile restaurants and published multiple best-selling cookbooks, and her accomplishments were varied and impressive. So,
wow, very diverse.
Yeah, very much so. And she, of course, passed away earlier this week.
Wow.
So, condolences to her family and friends and those who loved her. A lot of the celebrities I saw chiming in on Instagram and stuff like that about, how they're going to miss her and different
Well, the good thing is she left a legacy behind her name. That's the most important thing.
She did. And I don't really think people think of leaving a legacy. Some people use the term, I live it day by day, I take it day by day, but they don't think of the long term. Like most people don't appreciate the time that you have in a day.
Sure.
I mean, think about, now we appreciate time.
Yes, we do. As you get older, you do.
You appreciate time. When you in your 20s, 30s, and you still moving fast, and you're not as tired, and you think fast, you don't think about time.
Yes, you do. No, you don't.
Now, at this age, everything be about time. Time, what time I go to bed, how long I'm going to be at an event, what time do it start and what time is it over?
Yes.
How many people do I got to listen to?
Yes.
How long is your church service? Is it past 2 hours?
Yes.
I'm not coming.
Even running the radio program, it's like, okay, what time is it now? How many minutes we got?
Right. Everything is about time.
Yes.
It's precious. Like when we leave the radio station, you aim to have nothing else to do when you leave here.
Yes.
Go home.
That's not possible.
Right. But you want to grab you something to eat, go home, chill out.
Yes.
Or anything
in a perfect world, you can do that.
Right. Or it's like, whatever you do have to do, the routes have to make sense.
Sure.
You're not going to go back, forth, to the side. You like, well, are you off 696? Are you off 75? Because this is what I'm close to.
Sure. Exactly.
So yeah, it just doesn't. Time is very important. I know for me it does. Yeah. So what other trending topics I got going on here?
Speaking of trending topics, you look amazing today, Osnita. You always are so beautifully put together. I love your outfit and you're beautiful. They can check us out on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Yeah, check us out on YouTube. She looks absolutely fabulous as always.
Glenn, what camera am I looking in today?
This is your camera.
This is my camera today, Toyda.
And this is my camera, okay.
Because a lot of times when I rewatch the shows,
okay,
and all I notice is a lot of times I'll see the side of my head, I'm like, I don't even remember which way I'm supposed to be looking.
Sure.
So sometimes I'm looking down or either, of course, talking if I have a guest. So
yeah.
Don't worry about it. I got you covered.
You got me covered. Good. And you know what? Speaking of old shows, for every show that I do, most of the time when I leave the radio station, I listen to the show.
Okay.
If I don't do it like right after, depending on what I got going on, I do listen to it by that Monday or something like that. And I was listening to a few older shows, and I was, how sometimes you just have to be proud of yourself, because when you do stuff, you don't really give yourself enough credit all the time.
Right, exactly.
And for me, I can see where I've grown a lot in my flow of communication to the listeners and to the viewers.
Yes.
What'd you say, not Chuck?
I can see.
Yes.
And if I was doing horrible, I think Glenn probably would have picked me up.
No, I can see it as well.
He will pull you to the side and definitely let you know.
You're turning into a real broadcaster.
Really?
Yes. And not only from my perspective, I get messages and emails on, different shows and different hosts. And for the most part, all your feedback is positive.
Oh, well, that's good. I check YouTube as well, so I do have a few comments out there. So if I see them, I do respond to them.
Okay.
And I had a lot of thumbs up, and last week I had 2 thumbs down.
Oh, why? I wonder
That's
why.
That's a part that comes with it.
But 2 out of a couple more it was more likes than down, so I was okay with that.
Okay.
What else I paid attention to? The viewers.
But you have to understand that in order for them to give you a thumbs down, they had to view the show.
Listen, right. So it really don't matter. Thank you for listening. It matters, but at least they listen.
Absolutely.
And then if it's something that you
I
want,
can't stand Wendy Williams, but I keep turning her on.
I know you can't help it though, right?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of her at all.
Really?
No.
I'm not either.
No.
But
yeah, no, I know Glenn.
No.
I guess I turn her on to get me riled up for the day.
Because she will get you riled up.
Yeah.
But what's funny about her is that nobody is off limits.
Yeah.
It don't matter if they her friend, if she in good company with them. If you got some gossip, she's spilling it and she commenting on it.
Yes.
So all her friends know that it's not personal, it's business when it comes to your life and what you.
Well, I just think that that's a business too, but I think that she goes way across the line.
She does.
I think that she is filled with self-hatred.
Yeah,
she really does not like
herself
or black people.
Really? You think she got a lot of insecurity?
Pay attention to the things that she says in her dialogue, like when a white person is voted man of the year or woman of the year.
Okay.
And how that person is so gorgeous and so this and so that. And then when a black person is in the news, in the headlines, it always ends on a negative thing with her.
And you know what? I don't watch her show every day. I never tune in or anything like that. So I just kind of get the gossipy parts. So I don't really tune in for the whole show. So I will have to pay attention to that, because I just be like, I don't put no thought into it. I just realized that's what excites her is possibly negativity. It excites a lot of people. Me, I
believe that's true. I believe that's true. Negativity does excite some people.
Yeah, I don't want a lot of negativity around me.
Yeah, and I couldn't make a living off of other people's pain and their hardships, and it seems like she feeds off of that.
Yeah,
that's her whole.
But like Glenn said, I remember watching a documentary of hers or something she watched, and her parents body shamed her mom, as a youth.
Well, with that body, it shouldn't have took her mom to do it.
Well,
the mirror should have did it.
She added extra to,
I mean, and I don't speak that way of women usually.
Right.
But I don't give her the same respect that I do women.
Because you just don't.
Yeah.
I think that everybody has a job to do, and I get that. But when I can turn on your show and just blatantly see that you're harder on your own people than you are other people.
Okay.
Yes,
gotcha.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
Okay. That I do respect, and I totally understand that.
Yeah. And if we be honest, she's not the only one.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Are you you remember how Oprah did Toni Braxton?
I saw that
I
clip.
remember that.
But you know what? You didn't even put no thought into it at that time until the Gail Stoop thing came out, and that's when that came out. I remember Toni Braxton saying that she's like, Oprah was so mean to her. Remember when she lost all her Grammys and filed bankruptcy, and she's like, so I heard you have Gucci flatware. Gucci,
she was like criticizing her for that.
And it's like, everybody make mistakes.
I remember that.
But it's not a mistake if you want Gucci flatware.
No, but I'm saying, as far as with your money, you look at it, it's fun now, but then you go, dang, I shouldn't have made that. Well, if you don't consider the mistake, it's a financial decision that you wish you had not have made in some.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly
But I
not.
wouldn't. I mean, I don't feel bad.
I don't regret nothing.
Do you have buyer's remorse?
No.
I don't either, because I don't buy nothing I don't want to buy, and I don't buy nothing that I don't think I need.
When you get to a place where, because you're financially secure, that you can down someone for not being financially secure.
Right.
That's not, I'm trying to help you through your problem.
Yeah.
That's, I'm trying to beat you up.
Yes. Yes.
And I mean, at first, even with the thing with people saying that they were going after black men, at first I was saying, maybe not. These dudes are doing this and doing that. But then when you really take a close look at it, at the evidence, they absolutely are doing that.
Yeah.
She hasn't made a statement yet. Harvey Weinstein's been convicted. She hasn't made a statement at all.
Oh, yeah.
Minister Louis Farrakhan, he had a public statement that he made about he supported Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
In his comments and his anger and the way he spoke to Gail. And then he also told Gail that she was wrong, and he pointed out some things that she should have said and should not have said. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
And he said that I support my brother Snoop Dogg because he was angry.
He was speaking from a place of hurt.
He was hurt, and he was angered by her probing. And he also mentioned that she had allowed the people at her radio station to use her to bring us and put us in a negative light.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And speaking of the Gail and Snoop Dogg, were you guys able to view the Kobe Staples Center Memorial Tribute?
Yeah, I watched some of it.
I watched some of it as well. I couldn't watch it all.
Yeah.
It was sad, but it put you in a place of, wow, how do I want to be remembered? Because not one person, or even, and you think globally, really had anything negative to say about him.
Yeah.
And for his wife to be able to get up there and speak about her husband and her daughter.
Yes.
You already knew that just set the tone for what type of relationship they had and the love that she had for him, how genuine it was.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to say I could not have done that, but I guess when you know you in a good place with that person, you've been everything to that person, you've treated them well, you don't have no regrets outside of them not being here, then you can do stuff like that.
Yeah, you absolutely
I thought it was very tastefully done.
Yeah.
I seen she and the event got some backlash because the parents did not speak.
But maybe they didn't want to speak.
Well, see, that's the thing, people, with this social media thing now, we just jump so fast to conclusions.
Negative conclusions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, what they love.
Because we don't know the situation with his family and his mom and dad.
Yes.
We don't know.
Right. And you have to remember, like, what people don't think when someone loses a loved one, it's devastating.
Yes, it is.
You don't have today you might feel fine when it happened, and then the next day you could feel it a different way. So a lot of times, like, those are his parents. You never know the magnitude of their relationship, what they should have said, what they didn't say, what they wish they had said, and now you just in a space of, I don't want to say nothing, because if they had said something,
they'd have tore that apart.
They would have tore that apart, but they didn't say nothing.
Well, and then when people are estranged for whatever reason that they're estranged from, us as outsiders don't know. There's Kobe's side, his parents' side, and then there's the truth.
Yeah.
Yes.
And regardless to what they were going through, that was their child, and he's no longer here. And I'm sure that that's not a good feeling.
No. Regardless of.
You know, and it's even harder when you beefed out with somebody in their past.
Yeah, you never get to reconcile your differences.
Exactly.
Right. So hopefully, you know, they were in a okay space, and most of the time parents don't want to speak at their child's funeral. You know, that's just, it's not a right or wrong thing, and it's not nothing that you have to do.
And then there was a private funeral.
Right.
Exactly.
That we know nothing about.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and his parents aren't public figures.
No. If you don't hear them, you don't see them or anything.
That thing, people need to understand that ceremony that they did in that very public place.
It was for everybody.
It was for
public. Us.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing that y'all hear Michael Jordan up there just boo-hoo crying, and he said, I know these memes around me already floating around. He said, he told his wife, he's like, I got about another 6 or 7 more years to see these.
Yes.
But again, you know, just condolences to his family and friends and to the world, the nation, that we
truly a tragedy, devastating.
Yep, for all the families and of course the Bryant family. But yeah, so I thought that was an awesome event. Well, not event, but memorial service that they did for him.
I did as well.
Yeah, it was. Okay, Toya, you got to chime in on this next stuff.
Okay.
Because this is I don't even curse. But this is not like that, Glenn. And you know I don't curse on my radio show.
No, you don't curse on your radio show. But, you know, I've seen, you know, you.
Toya, do you be cussing?
I do sometimes.
Sometimes, okay. I don't feel bad. This is a Emma effing gosh. Now, this is really the 6-year-old girl that they arrested in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
I knew nothing about it.
Glenn.
Tell them about it.
Old.
6 years old. Google that. So I just knew you was up on this.
Wow.
The body camera showed the 6-year-old sobbing and pleading for the officer not to arrest her. And this was in Florida. The little girl, she had a tantrum in class, and I think she might have kicked the teacher or whatever, something like that. Hit the teacher, kicked her a couple times.
Yeah.
Whatever. But what can a 6-year-old do to you for you to call the police?
Right.
If that had been my child, I probably would be locked up right now. Because I would have went and tore the school up. I'd have beat up whoever I could beat up. I just cannot believe that. Like, is that normal protocol?
Well, I've worked in schools before, and usually what happens is if the child becomes a danger to themselves, like we had a child at one point taking his head and like banging backwards into a brick wall, throwing things at other people. If they become a danger, then you do kind of have to get some type of law enforcement involved, just for the safety of everyone around that child.
Well,
because you can't grab them up and snatch them and say, hey, sit down, don't do this. Who do you think? You got to be careful doing that, because then you'll be in trouble.
So you can't restrain a child?
You can restrain them. In some cases, you can restrain them, but if they're crazy wild, you run the risk of
how crazy wild can a 6-year-old be?
It depends. I'm telling you, some kids have emotional impairments, and when they get in that mode, their strength is 20 times that of a Hulk Hogan looking person.
This is what it says. It says the little girl name was Kaya, Kaia. It says she became aggressive, hitting me with her hands in the chest and stomach area.
This is the teacher speaking?
This is the assistant principal wrote in the statement. I restrained her by her holding her forearms. The grandmother said that the child had been acting out because she was experiencing some side effects from sleep apnea. The school was aware of the issue and that the family was working on getting the issues resolved.
Okay. I've been in this situation before with my youngest son.
Okay.
He got expelled from preschool.
He couldn't go back?
No.
But did they call the police on him?
No, they called me.
But how long ago was this?
About
10 years, 20 years ago?
No, probably about 15 years ago.
Okay, so think about where we are now.
Yeah.
Well, no, I get that. But when do grown-ups take responsibility for doing either the right thing or their damn job?
But see, okay, so listen to this though. That was a school. So the officer was wearing a body cam. So the officer, you can hear the little girl on did you see the video?
Not all of it.
Okay, so she's screaming, please don't take me to jail. Please don't take me to jail. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that no more. Please don't take. And he zip tied her arms and put her in the police car.
But
And then he goes back into the office with the administrators or whatever, and he told them he had arrested 6,000 people in 28 years, and Kaya had broken a record because until today, the youngest person that he had arrested was 7, and she was 6.
okay, but if he zip tied the little girl's hands,
Yeah, that's a tad extreme there.
Yeah.
if a grown man can't hold a 6-year-old
And
down to restrain them.
but by the time the officer had got there, I think she probably had calmed down a bit. So by this time, she must have realized, like, I'm in trouble, because you got to think she's 6.
But that says something again about the adults. That says something about the adults.
I just know that in school now, and like I said, Toya's worked in the school in this districts or industry more recent than I never have, but it's just so many limitations that the teachers have with the students nowadays.
We're very
because
limited.
Everything is harassment or everything is a neglect or abuse. So it's kind of like I understand. To me, as a if I was in the administrative situation. If I had needed to call the police, just wait a minute. If I had needed to call the police, okay, call them. If that's our protocol, no big deal. But at the same time, I would have reached out to that child's parents first.
Of course. That's the first step.
But see, here's the thing. We are so stupid as people.
That's a mean word.
It's not mean. It's just a word that has a meaning.
Okay, go ahead.
When adults are acting and thinking like children.
Yeah.
When a person who is an educator, who has went to school, went to college, been trained on how to deal with children, has to call the police for a child, then something is wrong with the system at large. Not just the fact that the laws are bad. They are bad.
They are bad.
But when I go in the studio to make a record, I go in firstly because I love what I do.
Right.
If you go into the educational system,
you should love it.
You should be there because you love to do it. And when an adult makes a decision, especially in today's world, to see a 6-year-old acting out, and their first thought is, "I'm calling the police." That's the thing that we need to adjust.
I see one of my viewers says my nephew Joseph says, by the book they have to restrain an offender no matter the age or offense, violent or non-violent. If they're going to detain a person, they will be restrained. He said, but the school administration is trash though.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes.
Nobody agrees.
Because I can tell you this, police officers don't want to come to little kids' schools.
Yeah.
No, he had it from him making that comment. It was kind of like, oh yeah,
But everybody's under pressure to go by this dumb book that we have, if you will. He like the gentleman just said, if a person's being aggressive, he has no other choice but to do X, Y, or Z.
Right.
Police don't operate by the law. They operate by procedure.
Right.
They operate by procedure. So if I'm operating out of a manual that takes all common sense away from me, we end up with these kind of situations.
Yeah, I felt
when a teacher is worrying about her job and she's trying to keep all of these things in her head of how she has to do everything by the book, or he may lose his job.
If I was a teacher, every student in my class parent phone number be on speed dial. I just hit the number. Come, your child is acting up.
But but guess what? On the flip side, now the teacher has to be afraid of the parent, because the parent might come and want to fight the teacher.
They will. I had a situation come up one time where a little girl, I loved her and she loved me. We had a bond that was really strong. She got into a fight, and in the midst of the fight, no one could stop her. I mean, her strength was very powerful. And I walk in the room, she's still upset, she's irate. She starts kicking me.
Not
attacking me like I was the bad person, but it wasn't her at that moment.
Wow.
She had snapped out of her personality and became like this enraged monster.
And what was her age?
She was only like 7 years old.
Now, see, when we were in school...
And at that point, I couldn't do anything in terms of snatching her up like I would my own daughter and saying, hey, sit down. I had to guide her into another room, close the door, she and I together in the room, and she's having a tantrum. She's upset, and I'm there, and I'm listening. I'm like, calm down. You're going to be fine. But if the little girl had come to a point where she and I were in that room, and I felt fear for my safety, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
I can't jump up and fight her like a grown woman. I'm acting in a professional setting, so I have to protect her first, and then myself. So there, you guys don't understand I worked in education for 18 years. We have children that come in there from all kinds of backgrounds. They take medication today. Mom didn't get the medication yesterday, and it's a lot that goes on. And those kids need a lot of love. And at the same time, our lives are in danger. A 6-year-old has a lot of power.
Well,
because we're kind of powerless in our positions in terms of defending ourselves, protecting the child. You can't just...
I just can't imagine defending myself against a 6'5" or 6-year-old.
You have to, because think about this. If your 6-year-old son went into a school and showed his behind...
He did.
And showed his behind, and his teacher got aggressive with him, snatched him up by the arm real hard, and put a bruise on his arm, you're not going to like that.
Well,
you're not going to like that.
Personally, I wouldn't have a problem with it, and I'm going to tell you why. I teach my children at home how to conduct themselves. And if you don't conduct yourself the way that I taught you that you should, then guess what? You suffer the consequences of what society has to offer. Because I teach my kids is that these folks don't like you, and they are looking to lock you up as soon as they possibly can. That's what I teach my children.
Yeah.
So, if you don't teach your children that if you don't follow the rules in America, they're going to take your freedom and or kill you, and you go to school and you act out, and my son did in preschool, and this teacher called me, right? And I came to the school, and I made the mistake of saying, I'm going to tear that ass up when you get home. You know what she did?
Call CPS.
Yes. And that's another thing. I have had to pull people to the side. I have a beautiful lady. I won't say her name on the air.
Right.
I had to literally get from my desk and go over to her and say, come, let me speak to you for a minute. I told her, I said, if you're going to do that, please don't do that here, because they will call the police on you. Take him home and handle your business there. Don't do it here.
But see, that's good. But lady, why did you call me about this kid?
But you know
you called me because he kicked her. My son kicked the teacher. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. And he was between 4.5 and 5 years old because he was in preschool. But what I found out that day was this lady was terrified of this little black boy. She was scared of this little baby. Guess what? So if you know that you are afraid of black children, don't go in the school system.
Well, I don't know if the teacher was black or white, but I'm just saying.
I'm telling you.
Well, first of all, there should have been security at the school, first of all. The police should have been a very, 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 very last resort.
I think for me, and this is to kind of wrap it up. For me, I just felt bad because the little girl was crying.
Yeah.
And like you said, these children come from a lot of different backgrounds that we don't understand. But just to hear her cry, no, please don't lock me up. I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to do it again.
But how does this 6-year-old know about being locked up?
because look, you got to see everything
Exposure.
on TV. You never know. She probably seen somebody in her family go to jail. She probably watched
Exposure
stuff
and
on
influences.
TV. Yeah.
So again, it's society that needs to adjust and make some changes on how we deal with children.
Right. I think now, since everything is like the laws in society is, everything is, a lot of things are the same. But think about, we've been out of school almost 27 years, or 28 years, and it's a lot that changed in the world in 28 years.
Did you go to Keaton?
Yes.
Well, when we were kids in school, there was one gym teacher, right? Who every kid in that school did not want to encounter. Okay? Forget the principal. Our gym teacher. If a teacher told a kid, no problem, I'm about to get on this intercom and call Mr. Warlow.
You was in trouble.
You got it.
Guess what? But before you got it, you knew that you didn't want. He was an ex-professional football player. He was probably about 6'9", 300 pounds solid, and he did not play.
Yeah, but
and he didn't have to grab you up to make you get in line.
But you got to think, the households now don't have that
and
fear.
The children don't have the fear that they used to have. Like you and I, like I'm 44 years old. My mother can give me a look to this day that lets me know let me
shut up.
Let me get in line. Nowadays, a lot of the kids lack that fear. They don't fear their parents.
Yeah.
Well,
they're friends with their parents.
Yep. We're going to move on from this one. Any last topics? Any last conversation on this one?
I don't know. I just think, you got a son in there in the lobby. And if your son start acting out and disrespecting you in my place, I'm not having it.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank.
And see, that's the role. That's the problem. A lot of men in society don't really know their roles as a man. Your job is to protect. Your job is to make sure that the women and children of this earth are well taken care of. So you would be well within your rights of who you are as a man to check her child and say, wait a minute.
Pull them to the side.
Men have lost that nowadays. We don't have that.
And that's because you have some extremely aggressive women, that protect their boys, where a man think a boy should be handled in, this way. Oh no, don't hit my son like that. Oh no, don't touch him like that. So it all just depends on, what works for you. But some people just stay out of situations because it get ugly.
Yeah.
It get ugly.
I think the last thing that I'll say is that it's a problem that we could sit here and talk about all day.
Yep.
But I think at the end of the day, if you want to work in and around children, you should be passionate about it.
Yeah,
and if you're not,
that's one thing I can say. If I died today, I would die leaving this earth knowing that I had a love in my heart for children, a passion for children, and the people that I worked with did not share that same passion, and that's why I'm not there today.
Wow, that's it.
That's it.
There it is.
Yeah, but I felt bad for that little baby girl.
Oh Lord.
Okay, and then we're going to make this one short. Coronavirus.
Who?
The coronavirus. I'm scared. Are you scared?
Not at all.
No. Glenn, you scared?
No, I'm
not scared.
Okay.
They did the same thing with the swine flu, H1N1, all this craziness.
Why did I freak out about this particular? I couldn't figure it out.
Well, think about this. Just think about this.
Real quick, Glenn, we're going to think about it.
Okay. If I am in control of a nation, and I can scare all the people of that nation and then tell them a month later that we have the vaccine to straighten it all out. Do you know how much money that is?
I know. I'm scared. I let it freak me out, but I didn't calm down from yesterday, so I'm not going to get no more of my energy.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to wash my hands. I said today.
I don't know no woman that walk around with Clorox wipes in her purse.
Look at you.
You the only woman I know that's got a industrial sized bottle of Clorox wipes.
That's okay. You know it's clean up in here when you walk in Fashion Flair Lifestyle. So
Yes.
again, if
All right.
y'all want to chime in on some of the topics that we touched on before we get into our topic of the day, call 248-429-7224. And we are live streaming on YouTube today.
Okay.
And we are live streaming on Twitch.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you want to call, you can
And where
Skype
else?
in. VentRadio.com.
Whose station is that?
Not VentRadio.com, VentRadio app. What other station?
.net, sweetie.
.net.
.net.
VentRadio.net.
all of the ways that you can participate and view the show is we are now on Twitch. You can go to twitch.tv/ventradio, or you can go to our YouTube channel, which is doing very, very well, and we thank you for that.
Yes.
You can go to our YouTube channel on YouTube, and that's Vent Radio as well. And you can visit us on Facebook. We're on Facebook Live.
Oh, yeah.
And our official feed and website, www.ventradio.net, or download the app.
Woo!
Yes.
Download the Vent Radio app.
Yeah.
Latoya, are you having fun with us today? I am enjoying myself. We had a really intense topic there when it got
hit
to the little
kids,
girl.
I was
but
like, whoop. I was like, okay, is we gonna wrap this one on up? But okay, this is my last OMG. But this is not really an OMG. But y'all see how the stock market is tumbling?
Yeah.
They said that this has been the worst down spiral of the Dow since the financial crisis in 2008.
And why is that?
I don't even know.
Well, who controls it?
Is it because of the coronavirus?
It's because of the coronavirus.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me?
I'm so serious. That's why that was my next topic.
But see, that's what they want. The government, they want to invoke pandemonium amongst all of us. They want us to be afraid. They want us to stock up on Clorox wipes and bleach and things of that nature.
to make the economy keep going, right?
To freak us out. We're going to be fine. Trust me.
It's all a game.
And even if coronavirus had not come out, unfortunately, there are going to be flu-related deaths in the United States.
Yeah.
Regardless,
So, you just made me feel so much better.
Girl, we are going to be okay.
I mean, the thing of it is, it's like, does the stock, whatever the Dow does or doesn't do, does it really affect our lives?
No.
Yeah, if you got 401k. Or some kind of
some people have 401k. Some people was supposed to have that and then ended up didn't have nothing.
Exactly.
That is true.
For
any investments though, that depends on the stock market.
Do
it can
they
make or break?
Do they affect us as a people? In your lifetime, has the stock market affected your life?
You know what? Thankful to God, I can honestly say no.
No.
Even in any type of recession.
You know why?
Or, what?
Because it has nothing to do with us.
So do you think they owe us an apology?
For what?
For what?
So we gonna bring it on into our topic today.
Because we don't want to force people into apologizing
Exactly.
to us. That goes into what we're going to be
They
talking
owe us
about
money.
here.
They don't owe us no apology.
Yes.
Give us our money.
Mm-hmm.
So today's topic
is the 5 ways to actually ruin an apology. So we're going to talk about the art of a sincere apology.
What the hell?
Yes, in our lives we have all
learned something today.
Yes, we have all been in situations where we needed to apologize, and we have also been on the other side where we are expecting an apology from someone. So today, I'm going to talk to you. This is an article by a lady named Tina Gilbertson. She's a psychotherapist, and she talks about 5 ways you can ruin an apology. Number 1. If someone apologizes to you and they say, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Well, first of all, that's not an apology. It's ineffective because you're not taking responsibility. You're saying that you're sorry that the person feels that way. You're sorry for the way she feels. You understand what I mean? So that's not really a good way to apologize because you're not taking ownership for whatever caused the problem.
So when you apologize, how should you? Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to get to that. Okay, another way that's incorrect is, I'm sorry you think that I stepped on your foot. I'm sorry you think. I'm sorry you think that.
No, you did step on my pinky toe.
But this is not an apology. It's an assertion that the other person is wrong in their thinking. That's what that is. An apology begins with the words, I'm sorry you. That's already off track. I'm sorry you. See, you're putting it back on that person. You're apologizing, but you're putting it on them. I'm sorry you.
Okay.
So don't ever say that. I'm sorry I did hit you, but I'm sorry I did smack you in the lip, but anything that comes before the word but is automatically eliminated. It's just like you didn't even say I'm sorry. I'm sorry your shirt is blue, but I don't like it. You didn't. What did you hear me say? I don't like your shirt, right?
Yeah, I didn't hear this. But why would you have to say I'm sorry if you just don't like my shirt? Shouldn't you just not even say nothing about my shirt?
You would think so, but some people don't. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. We are on number 4.
Oh, already?
Number 4.
Okay.
Well, I'm not perfect. So if someone comes to you and they say, you know, Latoya, you really hurt my feelings. You did this, you did that. And I look at the person and say, oh, well, I'm not perfect. That's not an apology.
That sounds like something I might say.
I mean, think about it. It comes from a good place, but you want to show accountability. But it's not specific enough. What did you say or do that was hurtful? That's what you have to acknowledge. And it's also a little insulting to suggest that the other person is upset because you're not perfect. No one is perfect. We're all imperfect in the world. So the last one I'm going to touch on is you show a lack of remorse. You say all the right things, but you're not truly sorry. For example, if you come to me, Osnita, and you say, you know, Latoya, you owe me an apology. You showed up late for work. And I go, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Right.
But there's no remorse. There's no emotion to it. So that's not a sincere apology.
So, okay, so... But how can you tell me that my apology is not sincere is it based on the way I said it, the way my facial expression showed?
The apology should be based on all about resolving the issue with the other person. It should be all about them and nothing about you.
So if I just said, what did you say again?
I'm sorry.
So if I just said,
I'm not perfect. That's not an apology.
So that would lead me to be looking at you like this.
So let me tell you how to give a sincere apology. The first, it's called the 5 R's. The first part of it is showing remorse.
So I gotta be looking like this.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
what if a person is remorseful, but they're not a person that you can just see it on their face or in their body language?
But you should be able to feel it. We don't have to see it, but I need to feel. We are all energetic. There's an energetic force in this room with all of us right now.
Have you ever met a person that when they get into a confrontation, they will giggle?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever met people like that?
Yep, nervous energy, of course.
Can we sometimes mistake a person with nervous energy as not being sincere when they actually are?
Absolutely. But if you're confronted with someone who's laughing during an apology, you can just simply say, "Why are you laughing? This is serious." And if they laugh and they give you an answer, you know, we can all decipher what's really going on.
I don't think that we can.
I think that we can. If you really look deep enough, like some of us have just a wall up and it's like, okay, he's not apologizing. But if you really think about it, listen to the person, listen intently, you can feel if a person is real. You know when somebody's bull crapping you or not.
Well, what about the people who
you can tell. He's playing the devil's advocate.
I disagree with you.
I think he played the devil's advocate too.
But what about the people that just can bust out crying on you and fall all out? What about those people?
That's just a drama queen right there.
But we know of those people.
I think it depends on the person. Like some people, say for instance, like, okay, me and Toya know each other, but we don't know each other on an argumentative note. Okay, so we've never had a fallout. We never gotten into it to where you see a different side of me or I see a different side of you. Okay, so I don't know if she is not a remorseful person. She don't know. She don't know that I'm a drama queen.
Yeah.
So when she apologized to me, and I go, oh, that's your little apology. Oh, that's all you. Oh, okay.
Yes.
You gonna look at me like, really? Like I said, I was sorry.
Yep.
But if you are more of a compassionate person, you might start crying.
And what about the people who generally don't know how to apologize? And I'm sure that's who we're talking to, because that's what the topic is all about.
Yes.
So go ahead with your I'm sorry, go ahead.
What about the person, the female, if you will?
What?
Who?
Why gotta be female?
Well, because it's just in this scenario, Nita.
Okay.
What about the female who wants to apologize through sexuality? Is that sincere?
Oh, I don't know anything about that. That's way beyond my scope. I don't know.
Wait a minute.
Well,
women.
Cause see,
you mean to tell me that neither one of you ladies have did something improper to a man and used your sex appeal and or sex
God.
I honestly
to apologize?
I've never done that. I'm married, and my husband and I, we have our fallouts, but my makeup for him is I'll cook him his favorite meal or do something special around the house, but I don't use sex.
But is that an apology, the meal?
Well, I am the first person to apologize in my marriage. I'm always saying I'm sorry.
That's not what I asked you.
So what I'm saying to you is, yes, I apologize verbally, but I also do things to show that I am genuinely sorry, honey. I'm not holding a grudge against you. How you doing today? Come touch my arm.
So
I made your favorite popcorn, whatever it takes. So I do both.
So Toya's she said she do both.
She used food.
But I've never used sex before.
But she used food.
Well, after you eat, what come after eating?
Don't answer, Glenn. Move on to your
washing the dishes. Cleaning the kitchen.
High five on that one.
Wow.
Go ahead to your R's.
Okay, so the 5 R's. What is an effective apology? Regardless of the wrong, most people expect to receive an apology. The first thing you do is you need to express your regret. You need to have an expression of regret. I am truly sorry for. That's the first R, regret. Take responsibility. That's number 2. Show that you are responsible for what you have done. Provide a restitution. This will never happen again. I'm sorry. And the next one is repentance. Repent to the person. Tell them you're sorry, you'll never happen again. And then the next thing you need to do is request forgiveness. Forgive me for what I've done. I'm sorry, it'll never happen again. What can I do to make it better? Those are all effective ways to apologize.
Interesting.
Okay?
Very interesting.
So when you I'll hear people say forgive, and when you forgive, you're supposed to forget and all of that stuff.
Well, you can't forget. I don't agree with forgive and forget.
Okay.
You can't forget.
So if you forget, if you apologize and you ask for forgiveness, you should be forgiven, and then you just carry on.
You should carry on, but it can't be a repeat. Now, you can't keep repeating that behavior. You have to promise not to repeat it again.
Okay.
Don't tell me you love me and you're never going to slap me again, but next week you walk up to me and slap me. I don't have to continue to forgive that type of behavior.
Okay.
So I want to give you a good example of what happened. This week, I work in downtown Detroit. I valet my vehicle every single day. So when I pull up to the building in the morning, the nice guys, they come up to my car, they take it, they drive it away. Now, when I'm getting off work, I call them, hey, this is LaToya, can you bring my car around? I'm getting off work. So I get off work the other day and I walk outside and the young valet guy, maybe about 20 years old, he has driven over an orange cone, okay? My car, I've only had my car 4 months. Brand new car. He's taking the cone and he's yanking it from up under the carriage of the car, like very.
So it got stuck.
It was stuck, yes. And so he's like pulling it, and I'm like, oh my God.
What kind of shit is that?
Yes, I'm like, what are you doing? So I walk up to him and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like
You said the word hell.
Yes, I said, what is going on? And he goes, just leave me alone. I'm trying to get this out. He was very frustrated. He was yanking it so hard that it looks like he was going to rip my bumper off the car. So my coworker walks up, and she's an older lady. She's older than me. She became like my big sister, and she's like, don't talk to her like that, and you're wrong, and we're just trying to figure this out. And so I looked at my coworker, and I said, you know what? From now on, I'm just going to start parking at Cobo Hall. And he turns around, and he says, I don't care where you park. You can park where. Like, he was so angry with me, but you're tearing up my car.
Yeah.
So it was it wasn't terrible. It was a bad situation. So long story short, he was able to put the car in reverse, and he got the cone out. The cone looked like a pancake when he got done with it. He really tore it up. So 2 days later, I go out to pick up my car, and it's him.
Oh, wow.
And I walk up to him, and I said, how are you doing today? I said, are you still upset from the other day? And he says, no, I'm not upset anymore. He said, I'm sorry about what happened. He said, here it is. Here's his apology. Okay. He said, I was wrong for what I did. I had a bad day that day, and I was taking it out on you. And he said, I'm sorry. And all I could do was open my big arms up and give that young boy a hug. Now that was a sincere apology. Why was it a sincere apology?
Next week I'll hit you in the head with that cone.
It was a sincere apology because number one, he said he was sorry. He owned it. He said it wouldn't happen again, and he even gave me a reason as to why he was so mad.
Wow. And then again, he's 20, and their reaction to things are totally different.
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting.
It's an interesting topic.
Glenn, what type of apologizer are you? I mean, I know it all depends on the situation, but are you always the bigger person?
No.
Do you hold grudges?
No. But I used to.
Really?
Yeah, I had to teach myself to let things go. And because I understood that holding a grudge eats at you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that was my reason to stop. Not because I didn't like holding grudges.
Right.
I just got wiser.
So you just learn how to deal with the situation. Either you wear it or you don't wear it.
Yeah.
If it was something of importance,
Well, see, when it comes to apologies, in my experience, you really just don't have a way of gauging who's sincere versus who's not. And
well, I don't know that guy at the valet parking place, but I really believe he was sincere.
Yeah, but see, the key word is you believe.
Yeah.
And I guess
I think if he wasn't sincere, I don't think he would have did it.
Yeah.
If
and you both could be absolutely right.
Right. He probably went home and was like, dang, he could have like Snoop Dogg. His mother told him, hey,
you weren't raised like that.
You weren't raised like that. Now, you don't have to talk to that lady like that. And it made him think.
But it took his mother to say something to him, which could be deemed that it's not sincere because it was forced.
But see, I was the one who confronted the guy at the valet place. I went up to him and I said, are you still upset? So I was the one that initiated. If I had not said that to him and just took my keys and went to my car, I never would have gotten the apology.
So how do you believe it's sincere if you know that you wouldn't have gotten it?
I felt his energy. Just like I felt his energy when he was ripping that cone from under my car. I felt his energy. He seemed really sincere.
And I can agree with
that. And I get you. I do. But that just shows you the difference in where people come from and how they were raised.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? My experience in terms of people being apologetic has just not been very sincere because the group of people that I ran in or surrounded myself with were not
genuine people
because we were all living a fictitious lifestyle. Okay, so when you know that you live in a fictitious lifestyle, it's like being with a girl and you know that this girl is really not into you. She just likes the fact that you have money and you got a nice car. And guess what, we know that's why she with us. But we do it anyway because she's arm candy. Or she's popular.
There's a benefit to being with her.
Yes. And I'm not saying that people can't be apologetic and be sincere about it. I'm just saying, how do we gauge it?
Yeah.
And especially when you're dealing with people that you don't know very well.
I think it all goes back, one, to the energy and the feeling that you get from that person, or the approach, how the apology come about. Do you have to force it, or do they genuinely call? Or,
Yeah, because
like
I didn't walk over to him and say, you owe me an apology. You better tell me. All I said was to him, are you still mad? Like, I just...
And your face.
But look, and listen to your voice.
Like, are you still mad?
That face right there would have made me be like, ma'am, I'm so sorry.
And so when he apologized, I was just like, I just opened my arms, the big arms, gave him a big hug, and it's over now. And you brought up another point too, Glenn. That was a good point. Holding grudges. A part of me, I could have walked over to him and snatched my keys and got in my car and went about my day.
That's how you would have snatched your key and turned your head.
Yeah. I could have done that. But a part of me wanted to bring a resolution to it, because I don't feel comfortable every day at 5 o'clock. I have to face this guy. I don't want there to be any tension or animosity between us. Like, I'm going to see you again tomorrow.
So guess what? I think that another great way to apologize is a piece of beautiful creations back away door hangers.
Oh, trust me, if I do something wrong to somebody, I'm definitely gonna try to make it right.
See, so you would show me.
Yes.
Show me.
Yeah.
And show and tell. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, for me, I always tell my son, is it a difference is it a difference in the word I'm sorry and I apologize? Because I always tell my son not to say sorry because you're not sorry.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
I don't either.
If I do something wrong, I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry, Glenn.
That's just some
I apologize. That's just
some
a
old
word.
down south stuff you done brought up here.
Yeah.
I know. He knows he's not a sorry person, but people do things in life that they're going to be sorry for. So I'll say I'm sorry. I have no problem. It's just words.
I used to be with a girl who used to say that sorry is a sorry word.
Okay, it is. And
I used to look at her like, and your point is what?
Yeah.
I think I just hate to hear people say I'm sorry when I'm in a grocery store and they walk past me and say, oh, sorry for what? You didn't do nothing. That just pissed me off.
Yeah, I've done that. I've done that.
It's a person might see. That's what I think. What we have to be more aware of and more open to is that people come from different backgrounds.
They do.
And if I walk across, I'm gonna show you how simple it could be. I could cut across two women and I'll say, pardon me, excuse me, okay, I'm sorry. But I could walk past a dude and I won't say nothing. you see what I'm saying? But it's not meant.
It's a respect thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in my world, it's a respect thing.
Yeah.
In other people's world, you're supposed to just do that because that's the polite thing to do. But when you're reared in a certain way, we're creatures of habit.
Yeah.
And that's good or bad.
Yeah.
But like you said, it gets on your nerves for people.
I'll just be like, what you sorry for? Just say it to me. When I walk past someone, I just say, excuse me. The sorry part won't come out my mouth.
But you have to give that person who uses the word sorry the same.
I mean, I'm not gonna say to the person, what you saying sorry for? You ain't sorry.
But you're letting something get on your nerves that shouldn't. And it's only because that's what you've been doing all your life.
It's in the moment. I let it go
crazy,
after there.
Yeah, I say I'm sorry a lot too. Like, especially I talk about working downtown, the elevators are kind of small. So a lot of times you get on the elevator and you're bumping into people and I'm like, oh, sorry about that, sorry. I say that a lot.
That's a little.
Yeah.
Well, what about when you get to the stage of life where I like to say, I'm at the drop the mic stage of life.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of things I feel like I've earned the right to do the way that I want to do them, whether they be right or wrong.
Then that's okay.
Okay.
Like with some people may feel that I don't have to apologize to you. You my child.
Oh, that's not healthy,
right.
though.
I think in order to if you get
we know
respect,
there are people like that now.
Yeah,
It feel like
So what are you teaching your child then? If a person feels like, oh, I don't have to apologize to you, you're my child. Number one, what are you saying about your child as a person? He's not important enough for you to apologize to him. He doesn't mean enough to you.
Great point.
So you're ruining his self-esteem, and then you're teaching him that he the man. He doesn't have to apologize to nobody.
But to show you, it's such a great point, because God rest my auntie. So I was 50 years old, and she would tell me in front of people, sit your ass down and don't say another word.
Oh, wow. And you were 50?
I would sit down and not say another word, though.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, because that's your aunt.
Only because I felt that this woman deserved
the respect.
Oh, of course.
Knowing that she was wrong about a lot of things. But she was the leader of our family, and I knew that she meant well, even though I knew that a lot of things she didn't understand and know.
Right.
But her wisdom made up for her lack of all of the other things
that she didn't have.
So when she said this to me,
you probably deserve
it. Hit me hard.
Aww.
But at the same time, I knew that to be the person that I need to be in her presence, I sat down and I didn't say another word.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, she was the only person in my lifetime that I would do that for. So I guess what I'm trying to get to is that, like when you said, well, what are you teaching your child when you behave that way? That's correct.
Yeah.
But we've gotten rid of so many old traditions for the new traditions.
I think the old traditions, they still exist. I think a lot of parents just don't put them into play.
Well, you can't put things into play that you don't know and
you
understand.
Might not know. Some people don't know. So.
But is that because we as a people are so busy trying to use what other folks say, methods we should use, rather than use the ones that have gotten us to this point?
I mean, it could go a lot of ways. All I can do is apologize.
Yeah.
And get them a door hanger.
And it's okay to apologize.
Your apology right now ain't
sincere.
Ain't sincere.
And it's okay to apologize to your children, no matter how old they are.
I believe it
because
is.
Because as parents, we make mistakes.
Right.
We do.
All the time.
I think as parents, what we do have to recognize, and that's all three of us, we know parenting does not come with instructions. Mm-hmm. So in order for you to be a better person, if you feel like if your child say, well, Dad, you hurt my feelings, you don't dismiss that child's feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might not go back but I'm just saying, you may not go back and forth, but you do have to value their opinion.
But whatever happened to don't do as I do, do as I say?
Because children nowadays, they see and know too much, so that don't.
But that doesn't work either, because children don't. You can sit and talk to a child about don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. Children are going to watch you.
Yeah.
They're going to mimic what they see you do,
yes.
what they've heard you say,
yes.
all of that.
But what about don't do as I do, do as I say?
I think that's
a very unhealthy philosophy.
Yeah,
but it is a philosophy that has been in our community,
and that's why the world is the way it is today.
So, if your mother or father is dead wrong, but as the child, are you out of order if you don't do what they need you to do, knowing that they're wrong?
It depends on what it is. It really does. It depends.
I agree. It really depends. I mean, because
she said when you put the word "but" in front of,
you don't hear anything but what came after the "but."
So I may say to my daughter, I apologize to you for the way I talk to you. But you
period. Leave it there. Don't say nothing else.
No.
Because if you go any further, you're taking the apology away.
No, what you're doing is giving me your apology. and I want my own apology.
So
But that's not an apology. Either you sorry or you not. There's no but, if, and nothing. You can come to her at a different time and talk about that. But during that apology, let it just simply be the apology. What's your daughter's, whatever your daughter's name is. Let's say her name is Lisa. Lisa, I'm your dad. I love you, and I'm sorry for the way I behaved. I'm going to work on my behavior, or I'm never going to do it again. But
I slap the hell out you if you do it again.
Okay.
So Glenn want his own type of apology.
No, I just want to, I guess, my job is to make sure that we are well-rounded and we look at situations from all aspects.
That was definitely you today.
Well, you want me to be a deacon? You want me to agree with everything?
No.
Okay.
Definitely not. It wouldn't be you.
So, I agree with everything that she's saying.
Right.
Because there is a proper way and an improper way to do anything. However, we as humans have been indoctrinated with a whole lot of stuff that wasn't ours.
Yeah.
So, even with the information that we've given on this show today, we have to give you different scenarios of what certain scholars, if you will, say about certain things.
Right.
Because they are the standard.
Yeah.
But when you break it down into layman's terms and real people living real lives, and you can't use the word but, that means what that means is, to me, is that I can apologize to you and then give you an explanation as to why I wronged you. And to me, that is improper.
Why?
Because if I wronged you and I didn't intentionally wrong you,
say that.
Well,
but you can't.
But I can't say that unless I can tell you how I'm feeling.
But the apology is not about you. The apology is all about correcting what happened within the other person. It's all about the other person.
Valid point. Very valid point. But we just don't interact with each other in that manner. We don't.
I guess what Glenn said, it sounds good, and that is proper, but the way we communicate with each other, for some people, it depends on your level of education and sometimes your level of experience.
Yeah. What about when you apologize to a person, genuinely, a genuine apology, and you want to, after you apologize, hug, and the other person who you're apologizing to just ain't feeling it right now.
Yeah, like when I reached out for the guy yesterday, he could have said, no, that's okay. I would have said, okay, I respect that and thank you for apologizing.
So.
But my feelings would have been hurt.
Your feelings would have been hurt.
They would have been hurt, yeah.
So the person who was giving the apology may feel like, I just poured my heart out to this clown. And look how he or she behaved.
Right, but again, you can't determine how the other person is going to react when you
and the other person cannot determine whether you are genuine.
Did that wrap it up? Okay, Glenn.
I think we just need to be careful of the word but, even with compliments. I can say,
love the word but.
This is a nice pen, but I don't like the color of it. What did you just hear?
You don't like
the color of the pen, right? Yeah. So that's my point.
And for me, that's like somebody complimenting your outfit and say, that is cute, but I wouldn't have put such and such on with it.
That's called throwing shade.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with throwing a little shade.
Oh my God. I can't with
him. Do you have Toya door hangers, her pictures? And if you could just briefly go over the door hangers and your inspiration behind each one. I picked Barack Obama.
Okay.
I think they'll show up.
That's what we got on the screen right now.
Okay, so my name is LaToya Sanders. I am the owner of Beautiful Creations by Toy, and I specialize in one-of-a-kind door hangers. I use plywood and a jigsaw, and I carve out images, and I make beautiful door hangers. I can make the image of a person, a flower, anything you can imagine. And the inspiration started, I used to work at a school. And our teachers were so stressed out and they had a lot of work to do. And I wanted to do something to kind of boost their enthusiasm. So I would go home on the weekends and I would carve out these wooden pencils. They were like nameplates, and I would hang them on the teachers' doors so that when they arrived to work on Monday, they would see this beautiful nameplate. And it just grew into a love mission. I specialize in all different types of door hangers, and I like to spread love with my products.
So this particular one that we have on the screen is of whom?
It's the image of Barack Obama, and I carved the image. I used a jigsaw. I carved the image and I painted his face, and I created this masterpiece that a teacher could hang in the library. You can hang it on your door. You can hang it in your...
So was that did someone ask for that, or was that, okay.
Yes, this was a Black History Month feature. Okay. There was a teacher that reached out to me for Black History Month. He wanted a Barack Obama figurine in his classroom, and I made it for him.
Oh, that's a good one.
Thank you. So if you're interested in learning more about my products, I am on Beautiful Creations by Toy on Facebook. You can go there, Beautiful Creations by Toy. And I also have a website, beautifultoy.net. Beautifultoy.net.
The next picture is Mickey.
The next one is Mickey Mouse. That's my front door. I'm a huge Mickey Mouse lover.
You should apologize to your husband for that.
I love Mickey. I made this for St. Patrick's Day, so I like to change up my door hangers for each season. So this is what I have on my front door right now for St. Patrick's Day.
Your husband let you put that on there, huh?
Yes, he knows. I've been knowing my husband since high school, so he's known my infatuation of Mickey Mouse for years.
We all went to school together.
Yes.
All right.
So what other ones do we have up today?
Let's see. Some black lady.
Oh, the one with the sister lock with the lock.
Oh yeah, there's a lady at my job. She wears dreadlocks, and she wanted something to hang in her office that represents who she is as a person. So I made that one for her. The sister locks.
That one's really pretty. I love that, especially with the glasses.
Yeah,
and the red lips is always a plus.
Yep, that's exactly her. Thank you.
I'm just intrigued by the jigsaw. Okay, I can, but just the art and the detail in each door hanger, as far as the eyes, the lips, everything is very defined and detailed, and I can't draw.
Right.
So to me, I'm like, how the heck do you do that?
Well, the way I do that is I carve out the image first.
Right.
So you have a blank piece of wood, and then I just use a pencil and I draw the face, I draw the hair, I draw the eyes and all of that, and then I use a paintbrush and I start to paint it in.
But I can't even
And it comes
draw.
to life.
She'll have one big eye, one little eye. That's really nice. I love that.
Thank you.
And the next one will, I'm sure it'll be the shoe. That was the last one that I said.
Okay. The walk, is it the one that says Walk by Faith?
I don't think it has a title on it, but I think that is the one though.
Okay. So, yep, I specialize in those one-of-a-kind door hangers. I've been doing it professionally for a little over a year now, and my skill level has really increased. So, you know how they always say practice makes perfect?
Yes.
It definitely does, yep.
Yep, oh, and that's your Walk by Faith shoe.
Yep, Walking by Faith. That's a stiletto heel made out of 100% plywood, and I also make my bowls from scratch as well. And I even added a little taste of glitter. It's a product called Glitterific to kind of glam it out a little bit, and that is being you can hang that on your wall as well.
That's really nice.
How can people purchase these beautiful works of art?
You can reach out to me through my website, beautifultoy.net, or you can reach out to me on Facebook at Beautiful Creations by Toy.
And guess what? I love gifts, and Toy brought me a gift today.
Of course I did. I always come through the door bearing gifts. I made Osnita these beautiful, she told me red was one of her favorite colors, so I made her these beautiful teardrop red earrings that she's going to be wearing the next time I see her.
Oh, these are cute, and it also came with some candy.
Yes, love is my theme, so hearts are definitely my favorite life symbol.
These are really cute. So what was your inspiration behind the earrings?
I saw a lady on YouTube with those earrings on, and I'm like, I believe I can make those. So I bought the material and made them out, and I just started passing them out to different people, and my coworkers, they love them.
Wow.
Yes.
See, your legacy would be love, you know, because you're always giving. I've been able to be a recipient of a lot of several gifts from you
Yes.
for my business, for my boutique. So I think that's an awesome thing. When I opened, you bought me flowers and a card.
Aww.
Then you made me the plaque.
Yes.
With my business name on it.
I hand painted a plaque with her business logo
the plate,
on it.
and then you did the door hanger for me for my business. So I got a couple of this to add to the pot.
Well, thank you. And it's also a gift for me to be here today. So I want to thank you and thank Glenn for allowing me to be on your platform, and we can explore the topics that we explored today. I appreciate it.
It was a great topic.
We went in today. I was like, well, it was, but it's good. But like Glenn said in the end, is that you can never determine how another person is going to.
But that's not on you. You know,
Right.
you
That
just have to
is
take
true.
it for what it is and go on.
Yeah, see,
Yep.
that is true.
So
All
thank you
right.
all so much.
I ain't never apologizing to you for nothing.
For me,
Yeah.
you gonna apologize for yelling out Mickey. Wait, but I'm sitting up here like, what did you say?
Always sending somebody something in the 13th hour.
You know, Glenn, I'm gonna work on that. Okay, because Toya sent it to me on Wednesday or Tuesday, so that was just me.
I knew it was just you.
I can't even. I'm gonna apologize for sending my documents late.
Okay.
It won't happen.
Okay, so I just need to demonstrate.
She said but twice.
Okay, so
So
right
that's,
now.
that's not on to pay attention, right?
Right
No,
now,
we gotta start over.
Right now, Osnita is going to demonstrate the correct way to deliver a sincere apology. So,
Glenn, I apologize for sending my documents late today. What I'm gonna do next time is send them earlier, and I promise it won't happen again.
Oh.
I hope you forgive me.
oh my God, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, yes. Perfect. It was perfect.
is that?
It was perfect.
That was perfect.
That was sincere.
Because
It was
ge-
all
No,
about.
she gonna say herself it was perfect. Let her say it.
Oh, yeah. Let me think it was perfect.
It was she. Okay, this is what she did.
Okay.
She acknowledged that she done wrong. Okay. She gave remorse and she promised not to repeat it.
And I asked for forgiveness.
And she asked for forgiveness. That's the correct way to apologize.
So,
Try that with a judge.
hopefully I don't have to be in front of a judge.
Well, most people who go before a judge and they get flopped is because they don't show any remorse.
Is that why they won't let Kwame out?
Yeah, he's not showing any remorse according to them. But how would they know? He hasn't been in the public eye in a while, so I can't really say.
Right.
I love
agree.
Kwame Kilpatrick. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be working where I'm working right now. Because
Hey.
he formed the Detroit Land Bank Authority. So
All right.
it was formed under his administration. So I have nothing bad to say about him. He's a man who made some mistakes and did wrong, and he's paying for that right now.
Right. So
And
hopefully.
how long he's going to be there, I don't know that, but hopefully he will be given
Clemency.
yeah.
Or some type of reconstruction of his sentencing.
Yes, reprieve.
I'd
Well,
like
all
to, I need to say something. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I want to apologize to my family members for not attending my cousin's funeral today. Rest in peace, Tay. I couldn't be there. I had to work. There was no one to sit in for me. But I just want to say that it was no disrespect intended. I just could not be there.
Beautiful.
Okay. Well, rest in peace.
Rest in
Tay.
peace.
See? That was you just.
That was perfect.
That was perfect.
But,
No but.
No, but.
and
So again, I would like to thank LaToya, our guest co-host, for joining us today.
Thank
Hopefully
you for
she'll
having
come
me.
back again.
Yes, I definitely will.
I appreciate her for the wonderful, engaging topic that we had, which was the art of a sincere apology.
Yes.
She went over some certain ways
the
to
art
apologize.
of a
The
sincere
art.
apology.
So there is an art in apology. So I thank her for that. And again, if you want to, of course, be a sponsor of the show, be an interview, commercial, media, blast style, whatever, you can reach me on fashion_Flair_lifestyle on Instagram, or you can also reach out to ventradio.net and search Fashion, Flair, and Lifestyle. You can complete a questionnaire on there as well. And I just want to give a shout out to my friend, the Tailor Made brand. They are having a fashion show tonight at the stadium, and he has a t-shirt or clothing line called Legendary, and I think that the tagline is like Be Legendary, which is like a goat, and he has a beard, and it's very, very detailed. So I'll be supporting them on tonight. I've known him since he was a young fella. Now he's grown. So hopefully I'm sure I'll enjoy it. And if you want to follow them at the Tailor Made brand on Instagram. Okay.
And if you're not doing nothing this evening, Vent Radio, as on all Saturdays, we are taking over Lucky Strikes in Novi, and you're welcome to come out and have a good time with us. That starts at 9 p.m. tonight.
All right.
Lucky Strikes in Novi.
Perfect.
And that's a long haul.
All right.
So that's going to end our show today. And again, hopefully you can attend Lucky's. You can support Beautiful Creations by Tori, PureEssenceResale.com, and the Vent Radio station at Soulful Saturdays and Lucky's. And I thank you for tuning in, and goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you all for watching. Thank you. Well, that was good.
Yep. Hilarious.